Hi everybody, Radical Gardener. Well, let's see. It is Saturday, July 24th. Is that right? I don't know. I'm not looking at a calendar, but you get the gist of it. So 31st is when? I don't know. I never know what day it is. You guys know that. Okay, Mac, no. My animals, they wait. I mean, all of a sudden he's up and wants to be, no. Macaroni. Why didn't I have children? Or maybe I did, and they were just all furry. The garden is spectacular. I'm going to be out there tomorrow working on some things, so I'm going to videotape that while I'm working on it. I'm at the point now where I can have somebody just come once a month and just help me with the bigger plants, because we're talking about plants that are 12 feet tall, and so I need some help with that. And I don't yet have the proper garden tools for, say, pruning the trees. And I know I'm not supposed to prune now, but I was just watching Pete Canaris, who has a YouTube channel here in Florida, and he's pruned some of his trees just a week ago. So I am going to go ahead, because I missed it during the dormant season, and just see if I'll get some more fruit. They're starting to fruit, but I kind of blew it. I remembered to, do my, fertilizing and all of that, but so we'll see how it goes. But I'll get some fruit. Some fruit's better than none. My vegetables completely exploded. I mean, they're huge. So the rain that's been coming every day, and then the sun and the thunder and the lightning has been just awesome for plants. Remember, my plants aren't in the ground. They're in beds, the ones that I eat. Okay, so this video is going to be about separatism. So this is what has been coming in loud and clear for me. And I've had to change my language daily, hourly, as I'm correcting myself, because I continue to think of life here in these separate little boxes, and that we're not all one, and we're all in this together, and we're all from the same divine source, no matter what, no matter who we're talking about, same divine source. We're all here experiencing the experience. Everyone's serving on some level. And what may look like, I like to use Biden because I don't know, why. But, when you look at him, if you can't feel any sympathy for that guy now, I mean, that guy's just, his brain's gone, and they're still putting him out there. He doesn't even know what's going on. I mean, if you want to look at culprits, I mean, look at the people behind him. And you can go into the, he deserves it. He did this, he did that. Well, I'm going to say to all of you, whoever is free of ever doing anything wrong ever in their lives, please get in touch with me, because I want to know you, because you're really special. Everyone is here serving a purpose, and the quicker we get there and understand that, the quicker we see we are all divine beings, everybody, everything, and that this third dimensional reality was created by us, not Satan, by us through fear. You can call fear Satan or Satan fear, but let's stay in the spiritual realm and not in the religious realm. And it's getting more and more clear to me as I adopt that, how freeing it is, but it is raising my frequency. I mean, my body's changing. It's incredible what's happening to me. Because when you're informed by the spiritual realm, here, everywhere, that's first. The next step, that's healing too. It's first in the spirit, you become ill in spirit, then is it mental, and then physical. I think that's how it goes. So when you work as a health practitioner and you work in energy work, you always start in the layer, the 7th layer that's outside the body. That's where you focus your hand, so you don't even have to do that. You can actually just think you're in that layer. But I'm actually digressing from what I really want to talk about. So that means you have to cut out, well, the Democrats do this, the Republicans do this, that guy's evil, that guy's not evil. That guy's stupid, that guy's not stupid. That person got vaccine, they can't be my friend, So, I mean, it's just, the separatism is managed through fear. Fear is what causes it. And what causes fear is that we became separate from divine source, right? So the quicker we get to the fact that we are divine source, we are of the divine source, the quicker we get there and understand how special we are and how fear doesn't serve us at all and feeds into the separateness. So I'm going to read something to you. I'm in the, I think, 4th book now. 4th book. It's called The Book of Truth. Gretchen and I are still roaring along in these books, and wow. Every time we read them, we go, what? It's just like, it's a huge wake-up call. Okay. Now, don't justify anything because you think you're supposed to. This includes your attitudes, your behavior, your history. When you justify, you defend. And the time of defending things must end now if we are to progress in this teaching. The lineage you hold as human beings is a very distinct one. You have come into form for the distinct purpose of remembering what you are, and this has been going on since you first incarnated upon this plane. Now, what you truly are is of the earth and not of the earth, and this has been the dilemma since the beginning of time. The aspect of you that identifies as form knows itself in relationship to other things that have manifested at the same dense level, and this is the 3-dimensional world that we exist in. But what you truly are, which invests all these things, is spirit. And the knowing of this and the knowing of the true identity that informs each cell of what you are and all things you see is the claiming of the inheritance. Now, why has this not happened is the great question. There has been a fear-based lineage operating with you concurrently that has been seeking to distill itself as you. Now, if you can comprehend fear as a vibration that seeks to assume itself in form, you can understand what we are saying. As mankind identifies in fear, it recreates or replicates that energy in its creations. So all the drama you see, we created that. Sorry, Charlie. Nobody to blame but us. There are no victims here. We have said so many times that the action of fear is to claim more fear. But what you don't see is that the creations of man that were made in fear are also assuming responsibility for the same action. Let me say that again. We have said so many times that the action of fear is to claim more fear. But what you don't see is that the creations of man that were made in fear are also assuming responsibility for the same action. This is being countered by the action of God or the divine self as it knows you, as it is you. Now, are you talking about evil? We don't do this, do we? Well, you don't actually, but you believe you do. If you can understand this, that the fear that you see all around you is your accountability to your own creations, you have claimed this as a lineage. It is yours and nothing else. We will blame those people over there or those ones out there perhaps who did this to us. In fact, you did it to yourselves. The claiming of fear as what you are occurred a long time ago, and those aspects of the self that believe themselves to be fearful continue to contaminate each aspect that it operated as. Each decision you have made because you are frightened, I'm talking about me too, right? Tainted the outcome with fear. You do this yourselves. So now that you understand that there is no demon or devil assuming this, but it was done by man in its own way, you can understand that it is now being countered by your true nature, which is your divine nature, not your small self, not your ego self. It is already so. Hear these words. Fear is a lie, and any form it's taken is also a lie. Now, can a lie be labeled as truth? Yes, it can. And here's the conflict that you are all going to face. There may be a very good intention outlined in something that has also manifested in a fearful way. You intend to have government to support the needs of the people. This can be a very productive thing, but if that government is operating in fear or seeking to establish itself in fear or rule over others, which is an action of fear, the identity of the government must be reknown in a truthful way for it to align to the new vibration that is here as you, and we will add in all men. So the idea of a battle between good and evil is also a fear-based structure. It is not true. It is not true. The only battle you have is with your own self or the identity that is claimed in fearful ways that has produced the structures that you have inherited and in fact reinforced by naming them as fearful. Now what we do with you each is structure you again, align you again, support you again in the full remembrance of your divine nature so that you align not to what was made in fear, but what is in truth. And the claim you make, I am here in truth, will see itself outpictured in your world. The darkness you see, the fear you see is a lie. It is a lie. No matter how big it is, how it claims to overtake, it is still a lie. And if you believe that a lie will overcome truth, you might as well put the book down now because you are in a, how do you say that? Oh my God, where you're worshiping it as an idol. So you're definitely saying, listen, I believe that a lie will overcome truth. And what we're actually doing is we're idolizing the lie. It's a belief that there is something greater than the action of the divine. Now, the claims you have made thus far, I know who I am in truth, are not mimicry. You are not parroting. You are deciding, and the decision must be made by you for you to claim its meaning. And the claim you've made, I am here as the divine self in manifestation. I am here as the truth of what I am in its expression. I'm here in my knowing of who you are and what all is a reincarnation of truth as what you are. The claim of identity is made in intention and establishes itself as what you are in your alignment. And your alignment should be and is with divine self. Should not be with fear. Now what you see before you, those things claimed as lower nature, must again be attended to in one of two ways. Decide that it will always be there. We will always have a war. We will always have hunger. We will always have fear. And that claim supports the alignment of the fear-based structures. You give them a nod, a tip of the hat perhaps, and say, oh, I know you're there. You're not going anywhere. I might look away, but you will be there tomorrow when I look again. And fear says, thank you so much for telling me who I am, for showing me my power, for granting me my purview over what you see, because I cannot be here without your permission. Do you understand this, friends? You made fear. You make it every day by claiming its identity, and it grants you permission to do so because this is how it exists. Fear could only exist by us investing in it. The other opportunity you have is to lift beyond it. Now, you do not do this by force of will. It will not be done by effort. What you've claimed or made, you are accountable to. But as we have instructed you already, to know what you are implies that you know what everybody else is as well, and everything else. And the shadow of fear is banished by the light of truth that it would attend to. Now, what we will offer you is a new claim of being, the human being that you are, who knows himself, herself in form, has agreed to be embodied and in consort with a three-dimensional reality that you call and know as your life, may be reclaimed as the true self in physical form by releasing the desire to know itself as separate from its spiritual entity or the truth of being. So once you can begin to heal that split is when you see real change. Desire, did we desire this? Yes, you did. You came here to learn, and you learn through the choices you make. And the desire to learn through separation or the forgetting of what you are was done by you as well. We chose to forget who we were. Now the mission is over in some ways, and we will tell you why. You have all stood at a precipice as a species on the verge of knowing what you are on one hand, and on one hand on the verge of annihilation through the action of fear that you continue to claim. The choice has always been yours. We see you alive and well in a new world, a buoyant world where the action of fear no longer holds a claim over you. But if you don't believe this, you will continue to claim what you have known. Now, is this a frightening teaching? Not in the least. We are not saying you are going to be annihilated. We are saying, as we've always said, that humanity has a choice of how it proceeds. The divine as you is in a new agreement. The divine in all men and all beings is awakening to its true nature as expressing through the forms that it has claimed. So I'm going to read that again. The divine as you is in a new agreement. The divine in all men, in all beings, is awakening to its true nature as expressing through the forms that it has claimed. And the rejoicing, we say, of what can come will be heard throughout the universe. The choice remains your own. I'm getting really exhausted by you know, and it comes out of religion, man. I'm telling you, religion really did a number on people's heads. You know, well, we have free will. Okay, so we have free will. And they like to say, well, they chose to be this, and this, so they're not gonna, you know, they're not gonna make it to the next dimension, or thinking you're better than they are, or you know, that God is looking down on them and they've sinned, and you're righteous, you haven't, and oh my God. When you walk around, and you know, I did another video about this, about the people in the deli. And when you walk around looking at everybody with the mask, with whatever, with the fear, you know, masking their children, and much, much worse, you have to, you don't have to, I have to continue to hold and develop a higher vibration or a higher frequency. I have to continue with seeing how they serve. It's our only way out, right? It's tricky right now. Well, it's really tricky. That's my dog. I get him little frozen cow's feet. I know, it's bones, and he just goes to town on those things. So anyways, he's really big. Like when he stands up, he's like almost as tall as me. I don't know if you can see him there. Larry. What a cool dog. So, yeah, I wanted to talk about this like a week ago, and I just have to be in the right frame of mind to want to sit down and actually, think about it and share it and read and, put it out there. And it's, I'm not talking about putting a plant in dirt. I really have to think about this stuff. And it's one thing to really, understand it, but then to have to verbalize it's tricky. Sometimes there aren't the words you need, or if the words even exist for what you're trying to convey. And I'm still, though I'm understanding it on one level, there's many more levels that I need to really take this in. So yeah. Okay. Anyways, health. The health is great. Continuing to do all my stuff, I'm going to talk about a product that I'm going to start here in another week that a friend of mine told me about. And so I'm going to talk about that. And the other thing is I am going to interview the guy that is the representative for a solar company here in Florida, but they do solar in 28 different states, and it's free to you. Free, completely free, free. No money, no money, no money down, no money, free. So the way it plays out is it takes your electric bill down by a lot. So my electric bill is going to go down $150 a month, and they pay for everything, the installation of it, the surveying, if something happens to any of your panels, if a storm comes through and blows it off, they replace it. It's incredible. So my solar panels are going to be installed on September 8th. The only thing you have to do is you have to have $1 million liability on your house. And I already had like a $300,000 liability. And if you have State Farm, which he said is the easiest one to do it through, but I'm sure you all have your own, it was $40 for the year. $40 more than what I was paying. I don't pay very much. So it was an increase by $40. And if I'm saving $150 a month, it's pretty good. So, so we'll be talking about that. He's going to get back to me about his schedule, but he was just here yesterday. A really terrific guy. So I guess that's it right now. I'll be in the garden tomorrow, and I'll be sharing that with you. And as you know, it's Radical Gardener. From my garden to yours, may your garden always grow. I'm sending you a ton of love. And remember, love everybody. Sometimes it's hard, but just remember, they're here. They're serving in some ways, and sometimes we just can't see what it is. But the more we say that, the more we'll see what it is. Okay? All right. Love you. Bye.